Hey, everybody. Back in Uwharrie for a few hours here. So, back from the Cotton Patch Homestead. Had a day off today, so decided to come out here for the last few hours of the day. So, we're out here back in Uwharrie. Same kind of general location I've been coming to. I've been out here for about 45 minutes or so, doing a little prospecting, actually kind of moving around. And I found a spot right back over there. It's hard to see, but producing more of a speck count. There's been little specks everywhere I've looked here, as usual. But more of a higher spec count there. So I don't have a lot of time today. So I'm gonna do is try to do 5 or 6 half buckets or so, see if I can get a little gold in the sluice box. So let's take you along for the ride and see what we get. Also, really quick shout out to Lee Hendricks Gold. I really appreciate him shouting me out in his previous video where he did the gold pay dirt review. I really appreciate that. We're going to get together out here sometime or another in Uwharrie and at the Cotton Patch Homestead as well. He definitely knows what he's doing. He does some dredging, he does some panning, he does sluicing. He's out here in Uwharrie a lot and goes to other places as well from people he knows. So go check him out, Lee Hendricks Gold. I'll link his channel in the description below. Look at that, y'all. I actually brought a tripod today. I actually came prepared. Can you believe that? I never come prepared. All right, hopefully you guys can see that pan. Let's get this worked down. Our little cons here from the first sluice run. Over here at my little panning hole, a little deeper over here. And it's nice having the tripod here with me for once. Definitely see the black already. Gold peeking out there already. We'll just keep that there on that end. Okay. See some. That's a piece of mica right there. That right there, don't be fooled for anybody new out there. Mica will move differently. It'll glimmer. But it will move differently. You can see it moving down when the water hits it. So not gold. It doesn't act like gold. You know, for anybody needing, like I said, new or just found this channel out of curiosity, or other, local prospectors here in Uwharrie, North Carolina, we go by the weight of gold. Everything is based around the weight, how we do the process, the pans, the sluicing. Everything is based off the weight of the gold. So there you go. That's not too bad for a half bucket. Let me get that tapped up there. And hopefully, let me see if you can see that. I've been doing YouTube for 11 years and still a noob at this style. But there you go. There's a little smile there. Hopefully you can see that. A little bit of glare on my end, so hopefully you guys can see that. But just a half bucket there. So you got a good 50 speck count somewhere in there. Not too bad. All right, let me snuffer this up for you here. Get a little water in the snuffer bottle here. Do this. What I like to do here is, like everybody, I'm sure everybody, tap it up to the edge there. If you want to keep it from moving while you're grabbing your snuffer bottle, just bend it over like that. It'll stick up here, let the water run down here, then come back gently, bring the water back. Just double tap, check it there. And then you got your little smile there. Give you a good squeeze, and then just go in there and I just kind of suck it dry there. There you go. Now we got all in here, and when we get home, we'll do a. Now it's not gonna be quite fair. We'll do a weigh up. This won't be from just this trip, because I got several trips in this snuffer bottle here. So we'll do a weigh up when we get home. All right, so there's that bucket there. Really quick shout out to my rock washer. She couldn't be here today. She's unfortunately has to work for a couple more hours there. So I just got finished running my, that was like 3/4 of a bucket. So we'll say that's about 3 half buckets total. So a bucket and a half. So 3 half buckets we've got run so far. So let's go ahead and clean this one out. Want to mention really quick, it's a blessing to come out here, especially if you have a partner like my rock washer, or a friend or family member, wife, husband, whatever it may be, boyfriend, girlfriend. If you come out with a partner in some way, shape, or form, this is so much funner. You get to spend that time with somebody. It makes it easier working, actually. One's, maybe digging, one's washing, or maybe you have completely separate operations. Either way, you get that quality time, camaraderie, whatever, out here in nature, and I love it. And, people are trying to take away that from us in a lot of cases. A lot of states are trying to do that, various states, and this one's not any different from my understanding. Now, there's apparently some regulations. I haven't read any regulations that you know of, So I'm gonna continue coming out here and sluicing and panning and having fun. But I'm not a scientist, but they'll say stuff like, you dig in a stream, or or whatever, you're messing up the flow of the water, or you can screw up the ecosystem or whatever. And that's all bullshit at this scale. Obviously, I have a little spade shovel, a little hand shovel sometimes, where I'm just digging in with a screwdriver and getting some little bit of dirt about this much out of rocks, bedrock, and there's nothing that I can do that messes this up any more than a flood's going to do when it rains in 2 weeks. It's just going to come through here and clean all this out anyway, blow it through. The idea that me digging up some rocks, maybe a 2-foot hole, maybe a 3-foot hole at the most, in an area like this with a little shovel, moving rocks 2 feet over to another pile, and then washing those, and then running the concentrates through a little plastic river, essentially, with riffles in it, which is essentially what that is. The idea that somehow messes with the ecosystem is ludicrous. So keep that in mind for anybody out there that's already doing this, or if you're new to it and kind of looking into it, want to try it out. Be mindful of what's going on in your state. Whether it's the local, state, federal government, whatever. They're always trying to slowly erode what we can do as far as our rights to come out here and enjoy our country and in the nature and all these national parks. National forests. This is public land. We all pay for this, and I find it ridiculous. I totally get, big scale operations. That's a whole different thing. But yeah, again, I'm not a scientist. I do know that there's been plenty of studies, especially out in California in the old GPAA days, where they've done studies, and actually when you dredge up river bottoms and stuff like that and move that material around, you actually improve fish populations, from my understanding, because you're stirring up micronutrients that's kind of locked in that soil at the bottom of the creek or river. That's all bullshit, in my opinion. Again, just my opinion. If anybody knows any different, let me know in the comments. But in the meantime, I'm going to continue to come out here, and I'm going to run my sluice box and dig holes and move rocks around, because I'm not hurting a thing. And as a matter of fact, prospectors in general clean up more lead and mercury and trash that we find around here. If I see a piece of trash, an old can or whatever, I'm going to take that out with me. Over here behind my camera, there's an old cooler lid laying there. I just now noticed it, actually, looking over there a minute ago, because it's kind of dark colored. But I'm going to take that piece of plastic out of here. So anyway, don't want to get on the soapbox too long. Just want to throw that out there for anybody new stumbling across this channel or other prospecting channels, that is a thing. Just be aware of that. And anyway, I won't stay on my soapbox. Let's clean this out and see what we got in half bucket number 3. Alrighty, half bucket number 3. Let's see what we got here. Hope you can see that good. I'll zoom in when I edit this video, hopefully. Hopefully I got it in frame there. Oh, I see a little piece right there. I just saw a piece smiling at me. All right, now, let me get that black down a little bit. This is an old school method here for smooth pan. So if you're comfortable with panning, do this. If you're not comfortable, don't have to. But use the smooth side. Now, the new cleanup pans are great. I do have one at home. I just didn't bring it with me. Oh, I see some gold there, so I'm gonna stop right there. Just get that off. But the snake skin on the new cleanup pans are awesome. Oh, we got some good gold in here. Oh yeah, I started getting in that good material. I thought we see some bigger chunks here. This is kind of like it was when I first got to this spot so far. Let's see what we got here. Hope that's centered in the frame there. All right, let's rock it back here. Let's tappity tap, 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 tap. There we go. Now we're getting some pretty good gold there. All right, let's see if you can see this. Hopefully there's not a glare on it. Right here for scale Not too bad at all. Let's see if I can get a zoom on that. You can see that there. There we go. So I can get a shadow on it. That's pretty good. Not too bad for 3/4 of a bucket here in Uwharrie. Starting to get a little bit chunkier. You see, starting to get in that gray decomposing bedrock. All right. Also, real quick, just for a quick shameless plug, while I'm out here sluicing this last little bit. For any guys new here that may not know, I'd probably mentioned it before, I've actually been on YouTube for like 11 years. I just had the 11th anniversary, actually. My main channel is called Smokescreen. That's where I've been doing all my podcasting, and we talked about, you know, pop culture and Game of Thrones and TV shows and, you know, all that kind of fun nerd stuff as well. I'm still using that channel, not nearly as much. I'm trying to get back to that as well. We just got a lot going on with the homestead and moving in and all that stuff, and I started this channel completely separate for this type of thing. But on that channel, I'm actually starting to do, I collect cards and comics. I used to years and years ago, for many years, especially as a kid, but I recently got back into it. Me and my girlfriend are collecting cards and comics, and mainly Magic the Gathering, if you're familiar with that. So a lot of nerd stuff, obviously. But it kind of goes hand in hand. It's all like almost treasure hunting. So I like geocaching, for example. That was a big hobby of mine. I may do some geocaching videos someday. I actually used to make geocaches, some really cool ones. So I'm into geocaching and gold prospecting, collecting cards and comics. So I've started to do some pack opening and stuff over there as well on that channel. So I'll link that channel in the description. I think it's on my main channel as a recommended channel anyway, on this channel, I mean, as a recommended channel. So just to throw that out there in case anybody's out there that collects cards or comics or whatever, and specifically those type, I'm gonna collect all kinds just for fun. I'm not gonna, you know, for example, we collect Magic the Gathering, Lord of the Rings, doing a master set if you're interested in that type of thing. So we'll be adding to that set. I'll be opening Spider-Man, Magic Spider-Man stuff, Marvel, the new ones coming out. We'll do The Hobbit coming this year, Star Trek's coming from Magic, so some of those, a few sports cards here and there as well. So there'll be some of that stuff as well, some pack openings, and that's fun. So I do a lot of live streaming over there on Sunday specifically, and we'll be talking after House of the Dragon comes out. We'll be live right after the show as usual. I've been doing that for many years for Game of Thrones and House of the Dragon and those kind of big TV shows I really enjoy. Actually, again, shameless plug, I wrote a book and published it 3 years ago now, almost 3 years ago. I can't believe it. The Crimson Gods, that's my fantasy novel. So if you're interested in that, that's on Amazon and everything. I can link that as well. If you like dark fantasy, medieval fantasy, I wrote a book, and that's been out for several years now, which I can't believe. Doesn't feel like it's been that long, but it has. So anyway, just to throw that out there in case anybody watching, if you made it this long and you're interested in other type of things, you know, I do all kinds of shit. So I'm into all kinds of nerdy stuff. So anyway, shameless plug. All right, let's get back to it, see what we got. I've been digging this area for a long time when I want to have a quick, easy day to hike back here. All right. I like to do a little vibrato there. Make sure that gold gets wiggled down in that corner. And again, what I'm going to do is get this down to the smooth edge. This pan is so old, I love it. It's almost like snake skin because it's so rough. So rough on the edges. I've used this pan. This is the very first pan I bought. They're an old Garrett kit, and I freaking love it. It's just the right size. It's not too big like those big super sluice pans, which are great, but it's not too big, not too small. All right, let's see what we got here. Oh, okay. I see some yellow already. There's a piece of shot. There we go. Hopefully you guys can see that. Starting to peek out there. Yeah, so a little bit better. Oh, nice. So actually a lot better. I take that back. A lot better than the last one. Let's get that little bit of black there. Let's tap. There's a piece trying to sneak down. Oh. Okay, let's see if you can see that. Hopefully you can see that there. Let's make sure. There you go, right there for scale. Make sure I get that in the camera there. So not too bad at all. You can see that a little bit better with the water on it, get a shadow on it there. So I'm guessing, you know, we'll go home and do a quick weigh with all of the gold. So again, it won't be just what I had on this trip. Today, just kind of eyeing it, I would guess I got 0.12 grams, probably 0.15. But let's wrap it up here, pack up, head home, and we'll do a little weigh-in with the whole entire contents of the snuffer bottle. Hike into the woods, they say. It'd be fun, I swear. All right, y'all, we are back home. We have the gold here in our little snuffer bottle. For those of you who may ask, this is a cool little Indian pouch we got at a local prospecting store in Statesville. It was just there. It wasn't really meant to be that. It was just there in another part of the store, and I thought it was cool, and it fit a snuffer perfectly. And then I just strapped on a Garrett detector, and then that way I could strap it and carry it around my neck if I need to, but just makes it easier to find. So here's our gold. Now this will not be, again, just to be clear, this will not be, let's move the scale for now. We'll have to go dry this up first. This will not be from just today. This will be from the last few trips to Uwharrie, as well as some from here at Cotton Patch Homestead and Gold Mine. So let's do a snuffer dump and see what we got here. This is all our little cons that we keep when we know there's still some fine gold in there. So let's dump this out. We're gonna have quite a bit of gold in here actually. So let's get this all cleaned up and we'll see what we got here. Won't do all this and bore you with it. I'll get all this cleaned up and separated. A little black sand left in here. You can kind of see though, we got some good gold up in there. So that's a pretty good little pan of gold there. Again, a couple of those bigger flakes were from here at the Homestead. Let's just let this boil up, get it all dried up, and we'll see what we got. All right, guys, let's see what we got here. We got it all dried up. Got all the gold right here, if you can see that. Still a little black sand in there, obviously. Don't get it every respect, but let's see what we got here. Let's tear this out. Haven't done a gold weigh in a while. Actually, make sure here. Get that on there, and make sure that's 20 grams are good there. All right, let's use our little Vogus prospecting. Vogus, he's a very cool channel, by the way, so let's tear that out there. We'll just use, he's got a little gold pen. I thought it was cool when I first got back into prospecting to weigh these out. I have to get some cotton patch ones one of these days. All right, let's tear that out there, and let's see what we got. I'm gonna, before I see that, let me guess. I'm gonna guess I don't know, a quarter of a gram, I guess, maybe 0.3, maybe, I'll say 0.28, 0.28. Let's see what we got, hold on. Okay, I think we got all that. Oh, more than I thought. 0.62. There you go, see if I can zoom in on that there. So there, not too bad at all. Let's slide that back in the picture. So 0.62 grams. Now again, that's from several trips there. I was just kind of underestimating, but those bigger pickers there, they seem to help a lot with the weight there. So very cool. There we go. There's what we got so far. We'll add this to the collection there. Again, of course, remember that's not all from today. Today was probably just 1/10 of a gram, I'm guessing, just a guess there. But we'll add that to the collection there and keep on collecting. And sorry about that. If you hear the chicks over here, we're in the garage. We got our baby chicks over here. We did some more short videos on that as well. We got 18 chicks. They're all in there warming, and we got 4 ducklings over here as well. And we'll have some more homesteading videos coming out as well for any guys that are interested in that. So anyway, and then we'll get back to some more prospecting stuff too. So thanks for hanging out, you guys. Appreciate you watching, and we'll see you next time.